behind their opponents.
Absolutely agree. And here goes another map pick here by KT. This time they're going for Infernal. Potentially being a good hammer map, I'm just saying. You never know.
Possibly. We will see. So we are heading into the Infernal Shrines. It is going to be BTG with the first pick, first ban. Interesting that KT went for the map choice as opposed to the first pick, first ban, like most of the other teams do.
Yeah, and it looks like, you know, beyond the game, they really enjoyed the fact that there was no Decker Kane on the enemy team, TWT's go-to support these days. Let's see what they're going to respond with this time. Maybe banning the Tracer, I don't know. She really looked out of control.
I mean, she's still a really good hero anyway, so I don't mind that being a ban.
Yeah.
You're going to ban Diablo. That's also very fair. Had some great dive potentials, a great control, and this is a decent map for him. So, well, all maps are decent maps for Diablo, but this one still has some very nice choke points where Lightning Breath can get good value.
Now, let's see. Beyond the game, they're looking good. Looking strong. First pick always, of course, you know, a little hard to predict. I would say that, judging from what we've seen here, a Genji wouldn't surprise me. LK played a lot of that. Maybe a Thrall now to secure themselves a little bit of potential combo threatening with the Phoenix. Maybe Alexstrasza, who knows? Maybe that is going to be their primary tool. It won again versus C earlier. The one actually first picked it as well on this battleground.
Yeah, KT have not played the they have played the Alexstrasza once and they lost with it. They might have played it twice, if I remember correctly, but I'm not entirely sure, so we'll not commit to that statement. But they have played Mouth, and they have won with Mouth when they have played him, so I expect he will still be their first pick unless they really do value the power of that Dragon Queen.
By the way, Tetcher, do you still have your research websites open?
I do.
Can you do me a favor and maybe go to Liquipedia and double check whether Beyond the Game's 3, the team member 3, is TY from Team SOA?
I don't know if...
Because I just saw his his face and I saw him on webcam and he looked very familiar to me. I just can't put the finger down on it.
Select player.
In the meantime, we see...
Johanna.
Yep, the Blaze and Johanna, a very stable front line. This time, actually, the Johanna...
TY.
Sorry?
He was, in fact, TY.
Nice. There we go. Man, if there's one thing that I'm proud of, it's my face memory.
Yeah, I'm terrible at that. You have that one covered. You're carrying.
All right. So cool. Who did they get rid of then? Does it also show?
Ex-team members. I can see that. Former, that was Lai.
Lai. There we go. Okay. So TY, we always considered him to be one of the stronger members of Team SOA, actually, in terms of, you know, shot calling and delivering the damages. Now, obviously, with a name change, that's what Chinese players like to do quite a lot. And now called 3. Very simple, very easy to remember. And there goes the Alexstrasza.
And the Alexstrasza is going to be... Alexstrasza prioritized over Malfurion, which is fantastic, because they can now ban Malfurion. The Medivh banned out. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Malfurion will probably be banned out by BTG here, unless they want to ban some damage dealers. But I still don't mind that KT didn't pick the support yet, because they picked the 2 tanks that are the best counter to Maiev, which is currently the biggest threat on the board.
I'm calling a Sergeant Hammer ban, or at least that's what I would recommend them, because I'm a little scared of... Well, I would be a little scared for Beyond the Game. With that Medivh ban, I think that is a little bit of a tell, you know? Or maybe it's a trap, who knows? So they would basically hope for them to ban the Sergeant Hammer. But Medivh would have really good engaging potential with the portals, right? You portal right behind the Sergeant Hammer, for example, and then you just go and wreck her. And also the Leyline Seal would have been a nice way to shut down and basically cripple the formation. And right now, I think that could be a hammer still.
Possibility is there. Is that what they want to go for? They have a really solid front line. With a mage band out, their AoE is a little bit more limited. So in terms of clear onto the shrine, they're already struggling. So they need assassins that have that kind of AoE. Phoenix is already good. Genji is less good in terms of the clear, but good for the team fight.
Good for the team fight indeed. Now, they do have a little bit of slowing here from the Johanna, of course. She's got the Punish, her Q. We've got the Blaze with the oil spill. That's actually, especially in the late game, a pretty formidable way to slow down people. So that already is covered. I like it. We did have hope on that Phoenix, by the way, 1v2ing people yesterday, if you guys remember. Yep. So that is already a fearsome sight. And Hape on the Genji equally.
Snipes for days.
Yes, absolutely. And they're still lacking the support. Many things to choose from. Obviously, maybe a Stukov, maybe the Malfurion, which is still available.
Somehow.
Some way.
But Stukov's also good, like you mentioned. Really good counter to the Maiev. The ability to massive shove. Muradin as well is always good. Just any kind of disengage or fight advantage you can take inside a Warden's Cage is always welcome. Even the potential for Uther, if they just want to Divine Shield their way through and just let that Dragon Blade get to work. Because the Acacia and a Leoric here. Leoric good against the double tank lineup. The Cassia, though, is a little bit odd to me.
You know what, Tetra? I wouldn't hate the Uther. First of all, there is not a whole lot of AoE damage available, like AoE damage over time. That's what I'm talking about. Like no Lunara poke damage, for example. No Gul'dan, Wave of the Fell Flames, or the Corruption Waves. And also, as you said, the Divine Shielded Dragon Blade against the Cassia could be so strong. But it is going to be the Malfurion after all. They want to play it safe and standard this time, and I can't blame them for that.
Malfurion is just the safe choice. The usual support suspect here. Tranquility is also probably going to be the name of the game because burst damage is sort of not a thing for this BTG comp.
I think so too. I think you're right. There's very little burst damage in the classic way, you know, like Greymane Jaina jumping on the same target, but it's rather like Cassia poke, Maiev poke. The moment, though, that Beyond the Game decides to fully commit to a team fight, they may very well have quite some burst damage available. You know, if the Cassia gets a good lightning ball in there, if the Maiev continues to get reset after reset, so that could be a little bit of an issue.
This is true. This is true indeed. The potential is there, but it looks like it's a little bit more of a get everyone in the Warden's Cage and then just beat on them with dragons and spears and probably maces, because I think March of the Black King might be the choice here, unless we might see a Valkyrie and Tomb combo.
Which could be a choice. Who knows what China will have up their sleeves this time around. It is currently a 1-0 lead for Beyond the Game. Can they do it again? Can they close it out and steal 3 points from KT? Find out in a bit as we go down to Infernal Shrines once more. And on the left-hand side, we've got Beyond the Game with 619 on the Muradin, LLK on Maiev. Druid is playing the Alexstrasza this time, dancing on Cassia, and 3, formerly known as TY, on the Leoric.
And on the right-hand side, it is going to be KT, Kudos top, with Hope on Phoenix, Timeless on Johanna, TWT on Malfurion, Hikari on the Blaze, and Hape is playing the Genji. So, if KT win this, they will become tied first place. If Beyond the Game win this, then they will become tied first place. Very simple.
So there's a lot on the line for both teams. That also means, of course, if Beyond the Game wins this with a 2-0, they're going to be single pole position.
No, they will be tied with SPT.
Okay, sorry, my mistake.
Maths is hard. Yeah, Beyond the Game have 5 points currently, so they will get 3 points if they win, which means 8. The one SPT have 8, thanks to their victories earlier on today, both of which were 2-0s.
All right, KT falling a little behind here in terms of rotation speed, but they make it in time after all, which is ultimately all that matters, so you don't lose out on too much experience. Now, we want to carefully analyze the Johanna builds of Timeless, because I feel like he has been the most impactful Johanna in the league up to this point. He went for Hold Your Ground at level 1 compared to, or as opposed to the Laws of Hope, which is the healing talent that can be activated. And Hold Your Ground will basically give you a higher shield value of your Iron Skin and also lower the cooldown of it, which is particularly awesome against all that CC that Beyond the Game has brought to the table here with Maiev, Muradin, the Leoric to a certain extent. So I'm liking it.
See a couple shots landing onto Timeless there. Dancing dropping some damage of his own as the Impalers begin to pressure. Nice stun onto Phoenix, but it's Phoenix. Not enough follow-up CC at this stage in the game. He's just able to teleport away. No pressure as of yet.
Yeah, and I can't wait to, this is basically the dream composition that KT was hoping for, right? They've got Hope on his baby boy. They've got Hape on his most comfortable hero. Timeless as well. If they don't win with this one, I think there's definitely no way we or they or them could blame it on the draft. Timeless
scouts out that there is a lot of people here, and as such you can see Hope already backing up as Hape begins to drop a little bit of harassment from above. So they might be willing to give up this camp, but they're even on XP, even on levels. The question is, are they willing to fight? Blaze is coming down. I think they're going to try and contest this.
The flank was beautiful from Hape here. So much pressure on the Alexstrasza already. She's about to fall when she is low in HP. That also means her healings are going to be so much weaker. But Druid remains his calm. He's not panicking. He's not using the Dragon Queen because they want to save that for the Infernal Shrine that is going to activate in 24 seconds. And they're also willing to take this death of Cassia into account. 12-second death timer. She will be back in time to battle at the shrine.
Still, that is the first kill here. We have Inner Light, by the way, coming in for the Cassia. So more blinds being applied here.
So every time she gets rooted or stunned, she will basically drop an auto blind in a circle around her. And that circle will also be increased. So it's a very versatile talent, a talent that I think is oftentimes overlooked by some of the Cassia players. And it's going to be very good against, obviously, the stuns and roots from Malfurion and Blaze, and even Johanna with a Condemned procs that cute little level 4 talent of Cassia.
Still not played to the whale, though. Still never seen that in a pro
that
game.
One, no.
As we see them moving forwards, trying to chase 3 off the point. Get off our point. 7 to 12 as Genji takes a fair amount of damage, but he's near his base. He's near his Malfurion, who's going to start landing those Moonfires for heals.
All right, here we go. Both teams are posturing up. Both teams in pretty good condition. The stun barely missing onto LLK, and he's having Reset City.
The root is good. LLK takes a lot of damage here, as does Dancing, but Dancing able to pull back into the abundance. As Zakari takes a lot of damage, has to dash back again. And what we saw there was actually Cassia following the dash of Blaze, which put her using Fend into a really rough position. Hape puts more damage onto the backline, trying to chase Druid here. Good stun by Blaze. Can they get Druid? No, they can't.
So much damage there with Hope, timing his splash ranged attack like an absolute mastermind. There we go. There is another one. But 36 skeletons. I think Leoric is going to give his life up for it, and he gets it. Double win-win situation for Beyond the Game. Not only do they get the objective, but they also manage to survive as a 5-man unit.
Yeah, but it's now a 5-man defense, or 4-man defense, as it looks like Blaze is going to rotate, as this Punisher will be beginningly harassed by the side of KT for this defense. There's not a huge amount of overcommitment potential here for BTG. They have Maiev, but that's about it, with Muradin hovering around the mid lane. So this should be fine. Hape needs to not be here, and he doesn't. He does not be here.
Agile dismount for the win. The moment you're on your mount, you have a huge range on your agile cyber agility. There we go. And of course, that combined with a swift strike. I mean, he's just dancing around now. Hape is such a show off, but I like it. And he's continuing to be the bane of Alexstrasza's existence, right? So whenever she's a little bit in the open, Hape is trying to basically go after the Dragon Queen. And rightfully so here, because once again, the lower her HP are, the weaker her healing output is going to be on the cube.
Hape in a little bit of trouble. Stormbolt's good, being forced to dash away and get back to TWT for that healing. Leoric already has rotated back up to the top lane. The XP soak. BTG creeping ahead here. The rotations from KT a little bit slow.
Of course, we also can't forget about the towers that have fallen on the top lane because of that Punisher. But all in all, I think you're pretty much spot on. Beyond the Game is looking like they're always half a step ahead of their opponents. You know, they always seem to know where KT wants to go, which mercenaries they want to take, and most importantly, they're never really separating themselves all too much here. So they basically minimize the threat of getting caught isolatedly from a Genji or a Johanna. So it's really cool to see how Beyond the Game seems to have figured out how to stop the onslaught from KT.
Stormbolt lands. Hape takes a little bit of damage, the wave clear, and the camp is taken by KT this time, so that's going to give them a little bit of counter pressure, and you can see their XP catches up thanks to the rotations of Blaze. So good job there, keeping themselves in this. They could find a kill at this stage. This is where they will be looking for one. You can see them hovering around in that style. They would love to grab a kill before the next objective, because that will give them level 10 before their opponents.
All right, the next shrine is going to spawn in the middle, so you definitely want to make sure that maybe you build up a little bit of pressure earlier with those mercenaries. Man, look at Hape. He's just the sidestep king on the Genji. He's never standing still on the same spot for too long. He's dodging every single Stormbolt up to this point. Wonderfully done. And look at that. He's not done just yet. Agile dismount immediately applied and used to dismount more members of Beyond the Game.
He's building up his Shuriken Mastery stacks as well, trying to maximize his damage output for the late game. As level 10 is hit ever so slightly quicker by BTG, Cleansing Flame, Ball, Lightning. Maiev, what could you be waiting for? We do see a containment disc coming in for Maiev. Archer the Black King.
Containment disc, indeed. So they prefer, or they value, shutting someone down for a certain amount of time higher than potential wombo combos set up in the team fights. So Muradin going for the Avatar, nothing special here. So let's see how that's going to work out. It could, of course, be super efficient against someone like Genji.
Flesh Shield already coming out. They're pushing it through. Dance taking a lot of damage. Purification Salvo will come out. Twilight Dream is doing a huge amount of damage. And yeah, everyone not going to die here. Camp was taken still. 3 will get sniped by Hape though.
Yep, and I don't think Muradin is necessarily safe here, because I think Hape did have another Swift Strike. He does have more damage than other Genjis on his Shurikens because of his level 4 talent. So good decision here by 619 to not really force the issue. But look at KT, man. They're posturing up. Only Leoric died. He's going to be back in a few seconds from now, and they're trying to reinitiate Beyond the Game, that is.
Putting some pressure onto 3. Hope dodging out the way of the Leoric. 6-27, very much in favor of KT as Johanna comes in trying to set up for Blaze, but it's mostly the 2 tanks, so Hikari does not pull the trigger, instead using it as an escape as Genji puts pressure onto the backline.
Yeah, Dragon Queen has been pulled here. Now it's 32 against 22. The position around the shrine has been dominated by Beyond the Game. Timeless, though, going in and baiting all those cooldowns onto his Johanna body.
619 just dives onto Hope, though, and drops a huge amount of damage, forcing the teleport away. Good use of bugger. Hikari dropped low. Fend and the Drain Hope is enough for the kill. 619 is still low. Punisher is spawned. Johanna is still pushing it deep. They're trying to set up for Hape to try and burn down some members. Extract doesn't get that much value, just a little bit of damage, but not much as Cassia decides not to chase any further, and Timeless will fall.
Timeless will fall, but he bought precious time here. Look at the salvo from Hope actually executing the Maiev at max range, it felt like. And that is the kill they were looking for. It's a 1 versus 2 trade. And guess what? Big Daddy Punisher still has a say in this fight. Look at that Hape. I'm not sure if that was calculated tactical feeding, but they definitely did buy even more time for the Punisher to get rid of that middle tower line. And guess what, Tetcher? Despite losing 3 members, XP count now much more even than before.
It was pretty close before, though. That Genji death, especially, I felt was a little bit unnecessary. Hikari was going to die. They've got the objective. Hape's causing pressure onto the backline, doing a fantastic job. But, I don't know, they really just massively overcommit to this, I feel.
I think so, too. And even what seemed like he was unkillable, Timeless, you know, even he ended up falling. I haven't seen a single containment disc, I'm afraid. I'm not sure if Maiev is always pressured too much, or if she just hasn't found an opening or a good target to use it on.
Question is, who would be the target as well? They focus down Genji, taking him out. Twilight Dream might prevent any more chase as Hope is forced to teleport away, but good snipe.
Yeah, also good clump there. When there is no threat of enemy AoE abilities, you just want to, you know, hug each other, and you want to cuddle a little bit so that Alexstrasza with her Cleansing Flames is going to warm up everybody. And that was just so much value. Good escape there by 619, escaping the roots of TWT. And this is a back and forth game, Tetcher. I think both teams have what it takes to win this game.
I would think they do as well. They're looking pretty solid so far, as Hope is trying to get any kind of defense, but BTG, they're slowly creeping ahead. I just don't feel this KT being as strong as the one we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it could be KT faltering a little bit, but it could also be Beyond the Game just stepping it up tremendously, analyzing their opponents, especially all the comfort picks that we see for KT here. At some point, if you watch enough replays, if you watch enough VODs, then you can definitely spot a certain behavior and certain movement patterns, for example. And if you prepare accordingly, if you play and draft well against it, you can definitely, you know, maintain a healthy lead. But as we said, none of the forts have actually been destroyed yet, so this could actually be a longer game that we're about to witness. And guess what, Tetra? I have nothing against it.
Me neither. And also, the fact is, the forts of BTG are significantly lower than the ones of KT here. So, like you said, there is the opportunity for them to try and bring this back. Hope gaining some lovely stacks. Ominous Wraith reduces the damage that 3 takes, though, so it's not as bad. Hape needs to be careful, though. There are several enemies in this middle of the map area.
Now, there isn't really any shrines available. There aren't really that many mercenary camps available. N16 will definitely creep up faster for Beyond the Game. So with the Fallen Shaman camp on the left-hand side now being the only visible objective, I wonder if KT is trying to force their issue. To force the issue, maybe to get a fight before 16 hits. Or they could also push alongside the Fallen Shamans to get the towers and maybe even the fort. They could alternatively also play the patience game and try to just get to 16 eventually. What are they going to do? We're going to find out in a bit. Right now, it looks like they want to get that fort. That's going to be a big, juicy chunk of XP.
Hope, pulling back very far. Hape sends a couple more shurikens onto 619. Keeping the pressure onto him as the next objective is in top lane, which is why this fort kill is pretty important. 4K is going to give them a great amount of push potential. As level 16, though, is still against them. KT's still half a level away. Blaze, this is currently his objective, to grab them the XP. In the meantime, it's all about this poke potential. How much can KT slow down and annoy BTG?
Yeah, you can really see how Blaze is trying his best to soak as much experience as possible. Full escalation, though.
They decide to fight for reasons. Timeless is dead. Hape takes a long way out using that agile dismount here. And I see no reason why Salvo, Twilight Dream, and X-Strike were used there. And Bless Shields, I feel that was unnecessary.
Quite unnecessary indeed. That is a Chinese phenomenon, Tetcher. We've seen this on Infernal Shrines times and times again. Why don't they just go to a different lane and just hardcore push the ish out of it, right? Why do they not give up the shrine that they can take without 16 against the Dragon Queen? Why don't they take middle, for example, or bottom? Because Blaze has been weakening those lanes all together all the time. Why do they fully commit to a 4 versus 5, blowing all the cooldowns they have? As you mentioned, Twilight Dream, Salvo, X-Strike. Nothing's going to be ready for the defense now against this Arcane Punisher.
Yeah, I really don't understand. At least Bless Shield will be back because it's a super low cooldown. But I am confused. Timeless pulls the Punisher.
That's good.
Pulls it back quite far, but you can see LLK still sharking around, waiting for anyone to overextend. Even Hape, though, continuing to be a menace in the backline, just chucking in shurikens over and over again, being just a pain.
Okay, I think they've got really perfect timing here. The second leap just right on time here, behind the gate. 3 on the Leoric is scouting it out with that ominous Wraith. Hape is going in super deep. If he receives a stun there from Muradin, for example, he could very well have been a goner.
He very well could have. But for now, he just continues to drop any little bits of damage that he can because he's still feeling a little bit cautious. It's 4 kills to 5. KT have been keeping up in the kill count pretty well. They're still about a full level behind, just a little bit less. As we see Blaze now rotating up to top lane, continuing his split soak.
17 is here now. And I wonder when we're going to see another team fight explosion, because both teams are definitely not scared to show their fangs and claws. So let's see who gets more impatient. Muradin just holding the line here, keeping the vision clear on the enemy team there. Takes a little bit of damage himself, though. And Blaze in particular has been so passive when it comes to participating in team fights, right? Because his main duty has been to basically soak against the Leoric in order to not fall behind, and that's why the experience count overall between the both teams is still so close.
Yeah, that bunker especially just has not done that much so far, as Hape puts more pressure onto 619, but he's 619, he's a Muradin, he'll heal back up. Next objective still a little bit away. It's KT, they're just pretty happy by the looks of it to just rotate around and wait their turn almost.
Yep, here goes a big AoE chunk. That is basically Hope's speciality. I don't think I've ever seen any other Phoenix in China who's done it so consistently, like always dropping the big long-range attacks that splash for so much damage. Hope also kiting the Muradin, forcing him into the backline. Healing reduction and the Twilight Dream Snap Stitcher.
Here comes the salvo. Down goes LLK. Dancing is kept alive by the Cleansing Flame, but will it be enough actually with the slowing Plasma Cutter and the kill? Thanks to the Arsenal synergy and the Swift Strike from Hayes.
And in the blink of an eye, Hope baited the Muradin into an unfavorable position there. The healing reduction on the roots were good. The Twilight Dream was even better by TWT. I wonder if that stands for Twilight T or... Oh, actually, it could be a short form for Twilight.
Could be. That is an option.
Yeah,
we do not know, however. They're going to take the keep at least. Ending the game
45.
might be a step too far, but they can certainly kill the Leoric again.
They can kill Leoric again. I think his Ominous Wraith did so much work, actually, lowering the damage of the entire enemy team. Otherwise, that key probably would have fallen way quicker, and maybe that would have bought them enough time to then go for the core altogether. But we take another look here. Look at 619's positioning. The roots, the silence, no avatar to save his life, no Alexstrasza Cleansing Flame. There was no way that Alexstrasza could have reacted in time there, and only Dancing left alive to tell the tale. No, he actually ended up dying as well because Hape is Hape.
All heroics are back except for Cleansing Flame and Twilight Dream. Twilight Dream up in 5 seconds. The Cleansing Flame up in 18. As this objective, 16-0 currently in favor of KT, who are continuing to drop as much AoE as they can. Hikari, that bunker might be the play needed in this little choke point especially. You can see LLK waiting for the opportunity for that Umbral Bind. There is the containment disc being dropped onto Genji here, so this fight needs to be delayed a little bit before Genji can get out. Genji comes out and begins to drop the damage. Here comes the Purification Salvo to try and drop the counter damage. The Cleansing Flame though, this time keeping them alive. Twilight Dream focusing on Cassia, who is getting the heals, but it's not enough. It's both takes down the kill. Hape though is also having to move up as he takes a lot of damage. Hope is also barely alive, gets taken down as well. BTG tanking through this fight with the sustain from the Dragon Queen, and Hikari will fall too as KT retreats.
Yeah, they also really did some good movement patterns there, actually moving away from the Punisher. Otherwise, KT would have had a powerful ally in that team fight. So, although KT managed to get the Punisher in the first place, they lost that team fight pretty convincingly, man. Hape is not done yet, sidestepping like it was nothing on that Muradin Stormbolt. He's trying to find an opening, trying to keep them occupied for a little bit, but he's playing a dangerous game.
He is sidestepping everything 619 has thrown at him. Hape is just schooling Muradin right now, but he can't really do much else.
Absolutely true. A masterclass of Genji movement, although he didn't really achieve them anything. He took the Piercing Stars, by the way, the level 20 talent for Genji, which allows his shurikens to pierce the enemies. That actually makes a lot of sense, you know. He went for a shuriken build, extra damage, so these stars at level 20 are going to be quite painful if landed consecutively.
Yeah, they're going to do some good damage on the objective. They're going to do some good damage to multiple enemies past the frontliners. We have Burning Despair coming in for Leoric. That's going to be very difficult to deal with. Astral Communion available for Malfurion, who is nearby this area. This could be fight over the Merc camp, but Hope decides to not try and delay, and Johanna was not nearby for that kind of interrupt.
All right, yep, they're going to let that mercenary camp go through, but so be it. KT actually don't have to put on the pressure, you know, they don't have to force those plays necessarily. They're going to have this catapult pressure in the middle already. It's also going to be very useful to defend against the Impalers in the middle, should more mercenary camps be stolen away against them. So, what they can maybe do now is apply some pressure on the bottom fort, right? There's still a fort left for grabs. Careful, immediate bunker to save Blaze for now.
Where's that containment disc? It might have to be dropped here as the Drain is doing so much damage to Hope. He's forced to teleport away. Good Twilight Dream to keep them going. Genji dashes back to his team. This is a disengage coming in here as Hope is dropped low. Indomitable Spirit keeps him alive. He makes it behind the wall. Past the March of the Black King. It's now just Johanna who needs to escape. Iron Ski's already been used and Timeless is taken out.
Timeless is taken out indeed. He doesn't have Indestructible. He went for Blinded by the Light at level 20, which basically means it's like a Storm Shield, only the cooldown can be reduced by landing blinds, the shield glare, onto enemy heroes, and that is why he didn't have that massive spike of shielding popping up when he was brought down low, and that is why he ended up falling. So a 1-for-0 trade in favor of Beyond the Game. Can they find 3 though? Can they kill Leoric?
So close. No, you can't this time. Good attempt though, trying to get that counter kill. They were already both at 20, but that counter kill would have been good. They also managed to stop Leoric clearing mid lane, which means that's going to continue to group up a little bit more. There's a lovely lane of XP top lane, though, which BTG will be picking up.
Yeah, as long as, you know, Beyond the Game doesn't get a huge advantage of winning team fights like that, I think KT is going to be fine with sacrificing a hero every now and then. The bottom wave actually looks strong. They still should have vision on the top lane with minions and stuff, so... let's see what KT is trying to go for now. Timeless respawning. He's coming back from the Hall of the Storms. And I feel like Tetra, slowly but surely, with 22 minutes into the game, the next Punisher could maybe be the end of the game. Oh, look at that agile dismount. They can't catch Hape. Too fast for you guys.
It's too mobile. Can't lock him down. He's just all over the place, able to escape from that Meridian Chase while he was mounted as well, as everyone begins rotating up to top lane. Johanna, a little bit out of position, already getting drained. You can see that Burning Despair, the radius increasing when Leoric got the drain. But now, everyone is here except for Genji. Looks like Genji's just going to try and push up mid to try and force a reaction due to the fact that catapults will be grouping up. Is Genji trying to end the game?
He's no Illidan, so he can't really do it all by himself, but he can certainly get the attention of Muradin. And without the main tank, Beyond the Game's formation here might look a lot less stable than before. 14 skeletons to 2, and I think KT is trying to make this trap snap.
Twilight Dream is good. Hape arrives, joining in the bunker with the fire, gets the reset with the Swift Strike, dodges the Dwarf Toss of 619. In comes the Purification Salvo, only really onto Dancing at 619 as they're able to tank through it pretty effectively as Ikari is dropping low due to the Dragon Queen getting too much healing and keeping the members sustained. In comes the Containment Disc, keeping Phoenix away from the rest of the team as he is focused down. Even Indomitable Spirit cannot save him, and Genji, he's going back to the core.
And let me tell you this, Tetra, the Dragon Queen on Ruby Wings allows BTG, and especially their support, to power through the entire team fight. Druid was having a wonderful time here. Can they do it, though? Catapults on the core. Genji harassing it as well. Hape, that's a lot of damage. They're going to try to dismount people now. They need to do this right now, right here. But,
a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Hape needs to go. There's nothing he can do anymore. But 75% is 75%, you know, and this Punisher, I don't think is going to be able to end the game just yet if they defend it diligently.
Hape is carrying his team right now. That pressure in the mid lane prevented a 5-man push in top lane that could have potentially been game-ending. He is putting on pressure. He's now grabbing mercenaries, using those piercing shurikens, gaining even more value here. He could really use some healing, though, before he does so. Everyone else is porting back to base. Is Genji going to join them, or is it more pushing in the mid lane? It's more pushing in the mid lane. Genji trying to cause a distraction, or even just try to race with catapults and 2 sets of Impaler camps. This might end up being a base race, Kendrick.
Tetra, this is double mercenary pressure plus Genji in the middle. Can they do it? Leoric is already back. It's a 4 versus 4 plus the Punisher. The Dragon Queen has been used here. Hope is trying to bring them low as much as he can. Tetra, this is looking mighty scary. It's an Arcane Punisher, the most powerful of them all, but a beautiful delay here on the middle keep.
The Twilight Dream, Astral Community grabs so many members here. Leoric has forced Genji to come back, but that means now it's a 5v4 on the core. The Punisher is dropping low, but everyone on the side of BTG is very healthy. Cassia staying alive thanks to the healing as Hape goes down. Their core is dropping, and BTG able to take the game and the series, guaranteeing themselves the 3 points.
What a finish there. It almost worked out, you know. Hape really tried